Hi there, welcome back to the channel. So today I am upgrading my my tuning machines here, the tuners, with these Allparts economy keys. It's TK-7562 is the parts number, and I'm pretty sure they're Gotoh. I don't know for sure, but a lot of their stuff is, it says Dan Electro, Delta, Gotoh, Grover, Hipshot, Schaller, Spurzl. So it's one of those companies, but I'm pretty certain just from looking at them and the way they feel that they're Gotoh, and they're 15:1 turn ratio, which is pretty good. And the main thing I know is that they were really cheap. They were $27.99 online price. I forgot where I got these, I'm sorry. And these are just really cheap and terrible, like really the worst tuners I've ever felt. And I thought that I didn't care about tuners. I may have mentioned that on another video when I talked about the tuners, tuning machines, that I didn't think it was that important, but they at least need to not feel terrible. And I think it's because these have plastic parts inside, plastic gears as opposed to metal gears. And when I reached in the packaging on this, just kind of popped it open and messed around with the key, it felt incredible compared to this. It feels like my Fenders feel, you know, or like the Les Paul. It's like a normal tuning key feel, not like all this play in it and just herky-jerky, you know. So I felt like at this price, you know, I've put some money into this now, and now I've bought these expensive pickups, which I got a nice price on them, but you know, they were still boutique pickups, and I bought this nice Tone Pros bridge. So I've tried to get really good stuff in here, but I also don't just, you know, shoot the works. I want to keep the budget, you know, reasonable. And I think that these are going to be the perfect tuning keys, and mainly I picked them because they're exact match for these. So here we have this style. It's the kind of Grover style, I guess, that Gotoh does, and you see how it kind of has an angle here where it's mounted, it's screw mounted, and you have to drill a hole. And so these tuning keys have that same kind of pattern here. You can see how it's structured. That's where the little hole is for the screw. So looking at them, I also noticed that these are kind of like mini keys, that they're smaller than these, and these look a little big. I was looking at them one day and noticed that they just looked a little like just a little too much key. Whereas, you know, this is kind of smaller and these are smaller. This looks more like the appropriate size for the headstock and for this style of guitar. I think this is more like the Gibson size. So this is a very easy thing to do. If you've clicked on the video and you're looking for instruction, this is quite simple. All you have to do, since these have matching ferrules and matching parts, and hopefully, you never know, I might try to put these on and I'll have some kind of problem with the holes or whatever not fitting, but I can always do some drilling or whatever. But this is a quite simple operation. The first step is to just take the strings off. And then I'm going to get a nut driver and just remove one of these machine heads, and we'll put one on and just make sure everything fits and it's going to line up. And then I'll do the rest of the guitar and show you how to do it. Great. So we'll start by, let's see, taking the strings off. And I'll just start with, I'm going to detune the upper strings. So since I'm taking these strings off, I'm going to put some 11s on. After playing my Strat, I really wanted to get back to the 11s. I just think, you know, I like the way they feel. But I was worried about this guitar because it wasn't playing well before, so I went to 9s, and that did help. But now that I've got it set up correctly with the bridge height, everything's just right finally, neck adjustment, I think I'm going to try the 11s. But I'm going 1148 because I want to jump too much from 942s. So I want 1148. That's a big jump, but not too much, I'm hoping. 1152 is what I usually play, so these are 1148s. Ernie Ball, because they're half the price of the NYXLs. I'm not sure that the 11s are going to work, so I don't want to waste the money on the extra expensive strings and then immediately lose them. You know, that would stink. So here we go. We're going to take the strings. I'm going to first detune these higher ones so that I can stave these strings as backups. You know, if we break them, they're not usable. And even though I'm not using them, I do want to keep them as backups. So I'll detune all the high strings, and then I'm going to take the E string off. And so by doing that, if you've tuned it the way, if you set it up the way I have with that Martin method, the strings come off really easily. Only takes like a second because you don't have a bunch of winds, you know. You just wrap it around and under. Okay, and then we're going to just come through, and I'll do that on all of the strings, but we can do a test really quickly to find out if the posts are going to work. Okay, I've detuned the guitar, I removed the low E string, and then I've just kind of been untightening with my fingers because I was able to loosen up a little bit. I don't have a nut driver that's the right size, of course, so I'll hand tighten everything and then figure out a way to get it tight at the end. But what I'm doing now, I'll just come and show you. I'm loosening up this here. See how you have this nut on the top? And there's what they call a ferrule, this bit here, that goes into the body of the guitar, or the headstock. And then this one just has like a little washer. Luckily, Allparts one, Gotoh, whoever made it, has this extra nice piece. And then here you can see that it's attached with this little screw, this little wood screw. So now we'll remove this, and that'll be the end of that. So I'll take all the little bits and pieces, keep them over here, because this will be usable for another guitar if you had to, although this is all pretty much garbage. I would probably keep the ferrules, you know, just as backups, but the tuners are not really any good at all. Okay, so I'm going to put those over here, and then we'll just take your basic little screwdriver. This is a very simple little step. Find the little screw here, and then just unscrew, which will release the entire machine. I'm putting all my extra stuff. I'll bring this over and show you what it looks like. So here is the old one, the terrible one. You can hear all this, see all this play in it. It's just awful. This movement, it's just a garbage, piece of garbage. But this one is the new one. See how it's more of a reasonable size, and it feels great. It's a really nice quality feel. Okay, so here's the garbage one. I'm going to chunk it over there. And then we take this here. And in the inside of the Allparts package, you have this little bag of ferrules and washers. Let me just show you that, what that looks like and how this works. It's pretty intuitive. So you have your post, you know, and then you're going to have your ferrules and these washers. The post goes in from the back of the headstock, obviously, and then these go in with this first, and so it'll look like this on the top, you know. So we'll take the guitar, so here's our tuning machine. I'm going to line it up with the little screw hole here on the back. So there it is. Come around here and drop the ferrule with the washer on it, like so. Just going to put it right on in there. And then just sort of find it. And then just hand tighten it. And I'll do this with every one of these. So see how it went in? I'm going to just hand tighten it down. Like that. Like so, and then I'll just take the little screw that I just had to flush mount it so it doesn't go anywhere. They did give me some. How nice of Allparts. I like this stuff. This is for $27, and they even gave me the little nice brand new shiny screws if I can retrieve them without dropping them all over the floor. It's like trying to pick up a watermelon seed with wet hands. Okay, so there's this, there's that. Okay, so I've got the little screw in here. It was kind of hard to do it over here, balanced in midair, but you can see now that the tuner is on. The tuning machine is on, and I screwed it down right here. See, there's the little screw, and here's, it's loose right now obviously, but there's the first one. So now I'm going to do that same exact thing, just going to run through on each and every one. I'll show you maybe the last one again. Okay, so I took all the tuning machines off, everything's removed. You can see the headstock now. And here's the lone single one that I've put on so far. And then once you get the ferrules on and you have it in place, I've got this little wrench here, and you just put it on the nut. And once you fit it on, and you just tighten like that. So now I'm going to go around and do all the rest of them. Another one. So we got two on here now. So all we're doing is we're putting the tuner in, the tuning machine head in. The ferrule goes on top with the washer first, then the ferrule goes in. You just bolt it down. I've got a little a little wrench. You just bolt down that ferrule. Screw it down. Number two. So we got four more. Okay, so I've got all of them in. So we've got the screws secured. There's 6 screws, and now I have left the one ferrule off. I was going to show you how to do that real quick. Okay, so here it is, right? The ferrule and the washer, and luckily the washer forces you to put it in the right orientation. It won't work. The ferrule won't go through the washer if you have it facing the wrong way. So you put you put the washer down first. The ferrule goes in. You just kind of hand tighten it. So I'm just going to hand tighten it until it gets all the way down flush. And then we'll just take our wrench here and you just kind of line it up. And you want to use something like this that's, doesn't have any sharp edges. Like you don't want to use like something that like vice grips or something, that would have teeth on it. You want to make sure you use something that's smooth. Otherwise, you're going to look up at your tuning machines. You're going to look up at your tuners and see all the hardware chucked up. So I like to use this. So now I'm going to tighten it down. And next, I'm going to really quickly, just on a couple strings, show you that tuning method in case you forgot. Okay, all done. I think it even looks better than ever. Looks finished to me now. The only thing I was thinking I might do would be kind of cool if this was like chrome, like reflective pickguard. Not chrome, I guess, but like a mirror pickguard, like this same shape. I might have to make it myself, but because I think this is like a Jackson pickguard. But I never see them. I always see them in black or white. And you could do a Gibson one too if it would fit. I don't know. Well, anyway. Let's put the strings on. I want to show you how to do this one more time in case you've been wondering about it. I talk about it a lot. And I think these look great and they feel nice and solid. I got them nice and tight. You don't want them moving, it'll rattle. This one's moving a little bit back and forth, but once the string gets on, it'll tighten it up. Okay, so I've got my power slinkies here. And they are 11 through 48. And I haven't used this string in a long time. And these, I used to use Ernie Ball only exclusively. Back in the 90s, I used to get them from the Jackal guys. And when we would tour with them, I would get all their Ernie Ball boxes. Jesse gave us boxes and boxes because he had a sponsorship, and they were giving us, Ernie Ball was giving us free boxes. It was awesome back in the 90s. There was a lot of money around. They would you could get money from record labels, you could get money from people like, string makers that give you strings. It's really, I know they do now as well, but there was a lot more money rolling around back in the 90s than there is now in the music business. Okay, so here's the string, the E string, and we're going to go, it's an 11 gauge string. We're going to go in here through the stop piece. And this is this method I use on guitars that have Trem on them. This guitar no longer has Trem, but it really holds tune well, so I'm going to just keep doing it this way. I love it. It's the Martin way of stringing, I found out. Okay, so what you do, got my nice new beautiful, oh boy, this feels so much better than the other tuners. I'm used to the other junky ones. And these, I'm not used to them feeling like real nice tuners with some mechanical resistance, you know, that feels nice and smooth. Okay, so we take the string, right? You see what I'm doing? Now I'm going to run it up here. I've got the post running like where it's like this. You got the hole, so you're going to go right through here like this. Like, think of it being like if, you know, if this is north and south, you're going to go east-west. And I'm not good with directions, but you know what I mean. Alright, so I'm going this way. I'm going to pull it through. Keep pulling it, keep pulling it, keep pulling it. Right there. Ooh, it's a nice tight fit with this 11th gauge in here. That's kind of cool too. It's like really going to be good. Okay, so once you bring it through, right? That's step one. See how I got it? I just took it through, all the way through. And you want to get it nice and tight. You want to really pull it, right? All right, this is the next step. We're going to pull it straight back like this, right? So again, it's going to go back, and you're going to go under that string. So let me see if I can get closer to show you what I'm talking about here. I don't want to mess the guitar up. I use this bag to hold it up. So we got this string, right? We're going to come underneath this part of it. So look, I pull it around, and I go underneath the string. See, I'm going to make this noise so you can see how I'm zippering through. Zippering past it, underneath it. See, it's underneath it. Now, once I come all the way underneath it like this, now I'm going to really get it down on this post. Really make sure it's underneath that string. I'm going to pull it back. Pulling it back. Now I'm holding it down. See how I've got it? See that? Hopefully you can see it's kind of dark in here right now, so I don't have good lighting in this room. Okay, so I've got it like this. I'm going to hold it down at the headstock, and I'm going to just tune it into position. See that? And now you just, once you get done, you just snip it like right here. And you kind of make sure the remain is going down over the string. You want downward pressure. And that's it. That's the stringing method. You do that for all 6 of them. And you have to make sure that when you do it on this side, that you face the other way. That's all there is to it. Just do it on every one of them. That's the only trick, is to make sure you understand that when you're going the other way, you do it, you know, you have to go this way because it's going this direction. Alright. Successful. I think this is a lot better. Alright. See you next time.